Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Life According to Nikki. You guys, I am so happy to be here with you today. I have so many things that I have watched that I am ready to deep dive into. You know, I have exactly 40 minutes before I need to get ready to go to dinner. And we are going to use that 40 minutes, not doom scrolling, not on our phones. Well, I mean, you can be on your phone. I hope you're listening to this on some sort of device. But we're going to be locked in, especially me, because I need to discuss the following shows. Number one, Avatar. I need to discuss the Avatar franchise, the upcoming Avatar movie, the Avatar documentary I watched. Avatar is on that list. Next, we also have Adolescence. Wow. I know I'm super late to that train, I know. But it does help to know that so many of you are way later than me. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm behind on something, guaranteed this is going to be the first time a lot of you are hearing about it. Because I do know my audience. I know that a lot of you aren't TV watchers, which is so great because you still like to listen to my podcast, but I do hear from you. I do see you in my DMs, and you request, me to give more plot summaries and stuff because you're like, girl, I'm never going to watch it, which I have so much respect for that. If you're not going to do something, own it from the start. Even if it's something I tell you, girl, you have to watch this. If that's just not your thing, if that's not where you spend your time, then I will understand. I do understand. And I will do my very, very best to help you out, give you a plot summary, make you feel like you watched it. So that way, when you are in a conversation with other people and they bring up that show, although you may not have an opinion of your own, you can claim mine as yours and be like, oh yeah, no, I've heard of that. I heard that actually there was blah, 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 blah. You speak out some sort of incredibly profound statement about the film, a bit controversial, all mine, of course, my opinion on it, and then really deep dive into that conversation, even though you've never seen it. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've been in deep, deep conversation with people about things I've never seen. But I've done enough research. Like, I know enough about it, and I know myself, and I know enough context and stuff, and I don't claim to have seen it. I'll be like, oh, no, I haven't heard of it. Or, I've heard of it. No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. And then I'll, bring something up about, like, I heard that this, controversial thing was said about it, or blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Sometimes, in those circumstances, when I'm talking to people, they have less of an opinion on it than I do when I haven't even seen it. So, you know what? You don't always have to watch something. Unless I tell you you do. And then maybe you should. But if you don't have the time or the energy or whatever, girl, I understand. And we're going to talk about Adolescence today, because maybe that is one that you have heard of. It had, oh my gosh, so many awards. It changed legislation in the UK, this film. Well, it's a 4-part series. We're going to talk about it. I also watched Roofman, Far from the Maddening Crowd, Season 2 of Maxton Hall, Eternity, in the theaters right now, and, okay, everything else we've already discussed. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be what we're going to discuss today. So, buckle those seat belts. Put a smile on your face, girl, because we're about to be giggling. If you're in a bad mood, I got you. If you're in a great mood, honestly, yes. I love hearing that you're in a great mood. This hopefully will only boost it and continue it on. But I just need everyone to be prepared for the rants I am about to go on. They're gonna be big. With that, we are gonna have a drum roll, produced by the thoughts in your own mind and my intro music. Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. Hello. Okay, we're back. Thank you for listening to my intro song. Okay, before we get there, I just need you all to be aware that I am sweating. I know that's not news. If you have heard my episodes about my conversion to Carpe deodorant, don't worry, we're still going strong on that. But in order to record these episodes, I have to turn off my air conditioner because it's so loud. It's so loud. And I have, the noisy bus port outside. There's just so much noise going on. I can't be running a load of laundry. I really have to be in the right circumstances in order to flip this mic on. But I have discovered that it really does need complete silence to the best of my ability, which requires me to turn off my AC. And it is way too effing hot to be turning off my AC. I turned it off, how many minutes ago? Like 5 minutes ago now. And I am already sweating. I have every curtain down. I have everything here just trying to make the room as cool as possible. But I am already baking. So I just need you all to know, if I start to sound like I'm in distress, if I start to, talk faster than I normally do, and I just feel like it feels like I'm, going crazy slightly, it is the heat. It is. Today, let's see what the weather is today. Get ready, it's about to be in Fahrenheit. 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is 35 degrees Celsius, maybe? It's hot. I did have one of my friends send me this meme, and it said, wow, it's 97 degrees out, and then it was like a Twitter thing, and the person underneath said, sorry, I don't speak oven. I laughed really hard at that. I was like, that's so funny. But saying that it's 100 degrees out, to me, has the significance that number deserves. 100, that is hot. That is so hot. That's such a high number, So yeah, if you're thinking like oven temperature or something like that, or just like a stovetop, if you're going to 100 or 115 or 120, like that's so hot. That's so high. Whereas 40, okay, 40 just does not evoke the same drama that 100 does. But in that same vein, when it comes to, negative 12 degrees Celsius, that automatically to me triggers, oh, that's cold. Oh, it's negative. It's really, really cold out. Whereas, 20, it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't get the significance there. So it's kind of depends on which end that you look at. But either way, I do think it is actually so stupid that we have different measuring systems, that Americans are made to look like freaking idiots, and it's not our fault that we never learned the metric system, okay? It's not our fault that we live in a country that does not use that system. I didn't make the rules. I didn't make that decision. No one consulted me. And yet, you gotta make fun of me for that. Okay, but can we make fun of the UK really quick? Because they use miles, not kilometers. But then they have the metric system, but then they also use one other thing that we use in the States as far as measuring goes. I don't know if it's like liters or I don't remember. But I just remember there being like two things that they use, which obviously makes sense because we came from the British. Yeah. So I guess I'm really just making fun of us again, not the British, for using miles. And what is feet? What are we doing? What are we doing with the feet? And also, I recently learned about A4 paper and A5 paper. Did you guys know about this? I didn't know about this. But we have different paper sizes in the US versus here and everywhere else. So everywhere else, it makes so much more sense. You have A4 paper. I think it's A4. Yeah, that if you fold it in half, it perfectly folds in half. And then you have A5 paper, which is like smaller. In the US, you have your stupid like letter paper, which is like 11.93 inches or something like that. Like it's like a weird freaking number, 8 by 11. I think there's something like that. Well, anyways, if you fold just a regular piece of paper in the US in half, it's not perfectly in half. right? Because we all did that in school where you like needed it to be a square or whatever and you had to like cut it off. They're different paper sizes and it's so dumb, and I do like it better here. I like the paper sizes better. It's more simple for me when I'm trying to like shrink something onto a page. Like I'm just dealing with whole numbers. I'm not dealing with the point whatevers. Yeah. I do like it a little bit better. Okay. Enough chit chat, girl. Get on track. Starting up at the top, let's just talk about Avatar because I just finished watching the first one again. Okay. So, Avatar, we're talking Avatar the Blue People. I've never seen Avatar the Waterbender guy, which we've discussed before. Let me see when the very first Avatar came out. Please hold. All right. The very first Avatar came out on December 18th, 2009, which is, oh, how many years ago is that? Do not even, you guys know I can't do mental math. You know this. 16 years ago. Thank you, calculator. 16 years ago, the first Avatar came out. And I don't believe that I saw that in theaters. I think I did. Maybe I did. I don't remember. If I did see it in theaters, clearly it was not, deeply profound and whatever. But I do remember watching it on Blu-ray back at home, and it was a long movie. Holy crap. The runtime on that is, how long? It's like 3 hours or something. You know what? Okay, sorry. We're going back on hold, and I'm going to figure this out. All right, here we go. Settle in. I now have all of the facts that I need. The first Avatar movie had a runtime of 162 minutes, which that is 2 hours and 42 minutes, with the extenders cut being 178 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen the extended cut. Okay, what? Oh, it's the extended collector's cut. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to see that. All right. They started live action filming April to May. Performance capture was 2 years. Post-production was another 2 years. And then development time was 4 to 5 years. Wow. That's crazy. All right. So for anyone who has never seen the Avatar franchise, let me break this down for you. Because I'm sure there are tons of you that have heard about it for freaking years. And, you've just never been interested. And I get that. Boy, do I. I understand not hopping on a trend. I understand also the sci-fi world and the longness of it all and the longness, the length of it, and just all of it not being interesting. I get you on that. But hear me out. Avatar is unlike any other film that has ever been made in history. And I know that that's hard to comprehend because we're just constantly coming out with like new incredible things and visuals, and everybody says these things are great and blah blah blah. And I think the sentence of like this is the best in the world or most amazing in the world, the in the world part, it almost feels like, okay, stop exaggerating and like get over yourself, whatever. I am telling you, when you watch these films, you feel the truth of that. It is absolutely a marvel, these films. It was so ahead of its time. I mean, you have the Lord of the Rings, right, which I recently watched for the very first time. I don't know if I've talked about them yet, actually. Guys, did I tell you about how I binged every single Lord of the Rings extended edition? Somebody DM me. I do not have the time to go back and see if I've done that. So if I have not, I will talk about that because that was magical. So I watched all of the Lord of the Rings, and I was absolutely amazed at the CGI, the effects. Just, you could tell why this franchise was so known, so talked about, so revered. Because when I watched it, even though it is a genre I do not particularly enjoy, I had so much respect for what I was viewing, that this was art. This was incredible. It was such a visual experience. The story was so rich. And I was like, you know what? I get it now. I get it. I may not be as obsessed as everybody else, all these things, but once I saw it for myself, especially when that was made and how ahead of its time it was as far as the graphics and everything, I mean, it has stood the test of time. I have seen things in 2025 that looked way worse than The Lord of the Rings, which was filmed. When was The Lord of the Rings filmed? We're holding everybody. While I'm looking this up, speaking of holding, is anyone else just amazed when you see videos of films being made? The boom mic people who are holding the mic above their freaking head at this weird angle for hours on end? I need to talk to someone who's a boom mic operator. I need to discuss the training. I need to understand how you stand in those positions without your arms going so numb. How are you not uncomfortable to the deepest levels that a person can be uncomfortable? Or like those big heavy cameras, you know, when people, and they have to hold them steady in front of them, like with their elbows out to the side. How are we doing this? How are we holding that? I don't understand. Sorry, that was triggered by me saying hold. The Lord of the Rings, 2001. Oh wait, no, is that The Fellowship? First movie release. I actually don't know the order. Okay, yeah. December 26, 2001, the day after Christmas. Lovely. Okay, 2001. Yeah, in 25 or 24 years, we have not done what that movie could do. And I genuinely think the same goes, actually I know that the same goes for Avatar, because Avatar, I want to know if is Avatar still the highest grossing movie? Because for the longest time, okay, it does. Yes, the original Avatar 2009 remains the highest grossing film of all time worldwide, with about 2.92 billion, followed by Avengers Endgame and Avatar The Way of Water. So think about that. The Avengers Endgame, that entire franchise, that was years and years and years and years, so many movies, everything that culminated in Avengers Endgame, this cinematic experience, all of us just flocking to the theaters, the chills I got in the fight scenes, oh my gosh, incredible, what a time that was. So sad to see Marvel's fall from grace in recent years, like, gross. Stop making movies, you used to be great, we should have ended it there, and with Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, that was amazing. People all around the world went to go see that. I want to know what the price difference is. Okay. It just says Avengers Endgame sits at number 2, but there has to be a huge price difference. But the number 1 grossing film in the entire planet is Avatar from 2009. And there is a reason for that. Every detail in these films is majestic. It is a sight to behold, these films. It is the truest definition of art and filmmaking and writing. It is beautiful to watch these films. Okay, so the storyline for Avatar goes as follows. And I'm not looking at anything. This is just based on me from memory. I did watch the first one again today, but I skipped the entire intro where it does break down the storyline. So just keep that in mind. But you know what? I've seen this enough. I know what's going on. I'm going to give you the bullet points that you need to know. You have Jake Sully. Jake Sully was a Marine. Hoorah. Merca. He was a Marine. Okay? And his twin brother was a scientist. His twin brother dies. Don't remember how, doesn't matter. His twin brother dies. So, the Marine, Jake Sully, his twin, biologically, DNA, all that stuff was the same. He needs to come and replace his brother because his brother was a scientist on Pandora, which is another world. And he was doing research. On this world live the avatars, a different species of people. Okay, if we got in a little spaceship and we toured and we took ourselves to another planet and we arrived on another planet that in this scenario has life and all this stuff, this is the people that are there, the native people. They are avatars. Now they're these big 9-foot tall blue creature looking things. They look human to an extent, but they have 4 fingers instead of 3. They have tails. They have blue skin with what look like tiger stripes that are in a darker blue. They have constellation looking freckles that glow in the dark. It's pretty sick. They're really like slender, and did I mention tall? They're very tall. They all basically have like 6 packs. Big feet. Yeah, you've seen the trailers and you know what I'm talking about. You have the internet. Okay, that's the avatars. So they go to this world with the avatars. Now these scientists, this group of scientists, what they did is in a lab, they took the DNA and stuff of the avatars and they made their own bodies, like these host bodies that they can then link up to in their minds. They have to go in this machine. The human goes in this machine, and then it connects them via, neurons or some sort of sciencey crap into, boom, their avatar body. So it's kind of like virtual reality, but it is reality. Once you open your eyes in your avatar, then bam, you are in that body. You are the avatar. So Jake Sully, he is a Marine that's in a wheelchair, by the way. He's paralyzed. So this is very exciting for him to wake up, close his eyes in his human form, and then open his eyes, and now he has functioning legs in his avatar form. That was very exciting for him. Very sad about his brother dying and stuff, but they had to use him because the avatars are linked up via, like, DNA or something, so that's why he was called in. Now, the premise of the first movie is he is this Marine guy, right? In the military, the U.S. military have moved into Pandora. And although you have the science group, which his brother was a part of, that are taking samples, that are understanding the land and all of that, you, of course, have the main objective of the U.S. military there, which is to obtain some super incredible and rare, I don't even know what it's called, some sort of, what is it? Oh man, I need Lucy here. I need my friend who's getting a PhD in geology and like studying zircon. It's some sort of element, some sort of rock, something like that, that exists on this planet. So obviously you can sell it for a lot in the US because you can do a lot with it. It does not exist on planet Earth. So they are going to this planet to then steal their resources, of course. Just so evil. They're going and they're gonna steal this resource, bring it back to the US and sell it for billions and millions and whatever dollars, and and they don't care that this entire people, the avatars, the Na'vi people, are there. They are just gonna take over. So the plan is to send Jake Sully in to become friends with the Na'vi people so that he can give them the message that, hey, they're moving in. They're going to come with their bulldozers and everything like that. So you guys need to leave your home because we don't want to kill you, but you do need to leave because we are going to uproot your literal tree, which is your home, and we're going to get the resources that are underneath it. Now, he, of course, falls in love. So this is his original mission, right? Is to get the people to leave, see what they want, get to know their ways, to see what is going to be a good enough incentive for them to leave their home. And he goes in with that mindset, but as he is a part of the people, as he's among them, and as he is not welcomed in, but shown how to live and exist with the people by the chief's daughter, he falls in love with the chief's daughter, and he also just falls in love with this people, with the forest, with their connection to nature. And they are very spiritual and connected to Mother Nature, which to them they call Iwa. Iwa is their goddess, their life source. She is in them and speaks through them, and when they die, they believe that everything returns to the earth, to Iwa, and she takes them in, and they still exist all around them. And it's just very much at one with nature, the earth, you give and you take, and everything works together. There's not a whole lot of greed. You're not just going out and just like killing animals for greed. Like when you kill an animal, you kill it and you thank it for being able to provide now for the tribe, and that it will become a part of the people and serve its use there. And there's just like a lot of beauty in the culture of these native people. Well, Jake falls in love with the people, with Natiri, and they end up mating. So now they're mated for life, which is a problem because right after they mate, that's when the bulldozers come. And it is the U.S. military. They come and they tear up one of their most sacred sites. It's where they communicate with Iwa. And they have these braids. And at the end of the braids are these little, not tentacles, they're almost like, in the ocean, you have like the little grass at the bottom seafloor, and it just like kind of blows back and forth. Kind of like that. They're like little strings, and that connects them. They can like plug that in, this like little part at the bottom of their braids. They can attach it to like trees. And when they attach it to one of these spiritual sites of Iwa, then they can like hear the spirits and souls of those who have passed on. There's just a lot of spiritual connection. Okay, Bus, do you mind? I'm recording a podcast. I'm explaining how the avatars work. The Na'vi people. Oh my goodness. No respect. I'm sweating. Okay, so you take these, you connect it to the trees, you connect it, you can also connect it to animals, they have it as well, and then you like bond with the animal so that you can like tell the animal what to do, so they're able to fly around, they're able to ride around with these animals and these creatures that are just the figments of someone's imagination come to life. They are amazing. There's not enough adjectives that I have that could describe how freaking cool these animals and plants and everything in their land like glows. And you get to see this land and kind of discover it yourself through Jake, because he obviously is coming from Earth to this place, and then the entire culture and everything is explained to him and shown to him, and you see him develop and you see him fall in love with this people, and you see that this is about to be a problem because the U.S. does not care. They don't care about the people, and they're colonizers. Like, they are here to destroy this planet, to take everything that they can, and they do not care who they are going to literally bulldoze and kill in their wake, and the traditions and things. I just think it is such a good story to watch. Because it's a story that is all too familiar with colonization of so many countries. And I don't know, it just, your heart shatters when you see their homes destroyed, their sacred places burned to the ground, these people, just their whole lives gone for greed and for, they call them the sky people because they flew in from Earth and then dropped down on this planet and then just claimed it. And oh my gosh. Okay, so that is the first movie. Well, the first half of the first movie. Again, this is a almost 3 hour long movie. So the second half of the film is when the bulldozers come. And of course there's the betrayal from Neytiri, his girl, his mate, where she's like, wait, you were sent here this whole time to get us to leave? And he's like, yes, listen, that was where I was coming from at first, but everything changed. And they're mad, they're upset, and the people, they tie him and a couple of the other scientists who were like good, they tie them up, and they decide, they're gonna fight the military. But of course, what they don't know is they have no concept of these guns and the destruction, that the technology that the Americans have, like the damage that will be done, the tanks that they have. They just, they have their bows and arrows and stuff and their will and their heart and everything like that, but it's not enough. It is not, if you are going in blind, it's not enough. And so, of course, Jake knows that. He's like, no, you guys need to run. You need to get out of here. Like, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to go against them. So, they try. Their home is destroyed, just burned to the ground. So many of them are killed. It is so heartbreaking. Then Jake, he ends up, through a series of events, he goes back to the people and he's like, listen, I will fight with you. I am a part of your people now. You have accepted me. I am with you. What we're going to do is we're going to get together all the clans and we are going to fight them, but we need to be strategic about this. And obviously he's been in the military, so he's a great person to have on your team. And he also understands how they work because he's been working for them all this time. So they go, they get all the other clans, the land clans, like the horse plains. And again, these are not regular horses. They have the tentacle things that connect with the avatar. So they go and they get all these people together, all these different tribes. And then Jake, prays this prayer to Iwa, and says, please help us. Well, those battle scenes are epic. Absolutely astonishing visually to watch. The whole thing it has me on the edge of my seat. My heart rate is well above normal. I have chills down my body. I am in distress. Everything about it is just, it evokes so much emotion when you're watching this because you've had this build up for 2 hours getting to know the people, this beautiful land. The CGI people on this film leave no stone unturned, let me tell you. No stone is going unglowing. Everything on Pandora is just, the details are immaculate. So you are in this, you're seeing their home destroyed, and you see them rally together to fight, and you're like, yes, take them down, please, let your arrow aim be true. And you have the first wave, and they're about to, they have to fall back because so many of them are dying. They just are no match to the guns and the Air Force and everything that they are bringing in to destroy their home and their land. And then out of the bushes, the freaking rhino things and these incredible Pandora creatures come and they start fighting. And then you have the line of Neytiri and she's like, Awa heard your prayer, Awa heard you, Jake. And you have all the animals, these ferocious creatures that even kill the avatars, the Na'vi people, you know, like all of a sudden they, through Awa, are like united in saving their home too, because it is their home as well. And then you have the epic conclusion where, they win, they send all the military back to the US, they load them on planes and stuff, and then you have the evil guy who says, this isn't over. Like, this is not the end. We're gonna be back. And they do know that. But for now, they did win. And they send the Americans back, the colonizers, they get on the plane, they go back home, and then Jake Sully and his paralyzed body undergo a spiritual transition where they are at the foot of the Awa tree, and his avatar body, the 9-footer, is laying there, and then his like small little frail human form is there, and it's like kind of wrapped up in these like tentacle things from the tree. I know, it sounds weird. I'm telling you, you've got to watch it. And the entire tribe, everyone is there, and then he passes through the heart and eye of Awa. And the last scene in the first movie is him opening his eyes as his avatar. So he has now transferred his spirit into his avatar body, and he no longer like needs the machine and stuff. His human form is dead. He is no longer human. He is his avatar. That is the first film. Oh my gosh. Now, this is, when I first watched it, I was like, I think I'm going to watch this like once every 5 years. This is not a once a year film. It's too long to be that. Like, it's a once every other year, every 3 years. And I have honestly stuck with that this whole time. But if you have not seen the Avatar movies, get with someone that loves them and watch them. I don't think it's as fun solo. It's way too long to be doing just like solo. This is something, it was like the Lord of the Rings for me. I wasn't just going to sit down and watch Lord of the Rings. It was never going to happen. But I watched them with my friend, who this is her favorite franchise in the entire world, is the Lord of the Rings. And so I got to experience that with her. And really, I love watching things with people where I've already seen something, but I'm having them watch it for the first time, because it's like you get to vicariously experience it for the first time again through them. And that's such a cool thing. I love that. It's one of my favorite feelings. So I wanted to give that to her because I know how much I love and appreciate it. So I wanted to give my friend the opportunity to watch her favorite series for the first time again through me watching it for the first time. That she gets to be the one that teaches me all the behind the scenes and like the crazy cool things and blah, blah, blah. So I would recommend doing that with Avatar. Get with someone who really loves this franchise and say, hey, you know what? I'm about to give a gift to you. I'm going to watch your favorite films so that you can experience it for the first time again. And I want this experience. You may not be as like, whoa, as, the people who watched it in 2009. But again, the way that I felt about Lord of the Rings, years later, it's like been 24 years since it was made. And when I watched it for the first time, 24 years after it was made, I understood the significance and how great that franchise was. And I think you're going to feel the same about Avatar. Even if it's not your genre, even if it's not your thing, which it's not for me, there's just no denying in me how incredible those films are. It just is, it's amazing. And the behind the scenes of Avatar, of course, I think is the coolest part. That it's live action captured. That this whole thing isn't CGI is nutty. You have got to watch some YouTube videos. I mean, they've got all the dots and stuff all over their faces. Actually, what I would do is I would go on to Disney Plus. They currently have 2 episodes out, and it's about the filming of Way of Water. Just from, again, an objective standpoint, when you watch, it's just like 2 one-hour documentaries, or maybe it's 45 minutes, 2 45-minute documentaries on this film. From an objective standpoint, when you see what they have had to do in order to capture these movies, the technology, the engineering the smart people that was required for this, it is a feat. It is a beautiful thing to see what humans are capable of in capturing this. And Way of Water, so effing dope, you guys. Oh my gosh, I rewatched that, what was it, 2 weeks ago on my flight back home to Perth from Sydney. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I think it's time for a break. I need to go eat dinner really quick, and then I will be back, and I will explain Way of Water. All right, people, I am back. I know all that's happened to you is I just had a 5-second, ditty play, but for me, it has been, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 hours. 3 hours since I was last with you, since I was last sitting in front of this mic sweating to death. And I'm so sorry, but I did have to crack open the window because it is so hot in my room right now. It's so hot. You know what? In fact, I need to go get my hand fan. I need to go get my fan. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit more settled. If you hear some slight squeaking noise, it is from my big, amazing fan. And if you hear a cricket in the background, look, I'm sorry. It is from the stupid animals outside my window because I cannot shut my window right now. You guys, I can't work in these conditions. I need some airflow in this room. And you know what? The buses are going to come and they're going to be so loud. But we're just going to get through together. I want you to hold my hands, through wherever you're listening to this, through, your radio in your car or your phone speaker or whatever. And I want you to just radically accept that I'm just a girl doing her best. I'm just here trying to entertain, trying to just have a little chit chat with you. And you know what? My environment is going to mess with that. But, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry. It really doesn't bother me at all, when you guys have screaming kids in the background. So I am praying that having a cricket in the background isn't going to bother you. But who knows? Maybe that is your last straw, I do tell my friends all the time that have kids that it's totally fine if your kid screams for the whole time that we're together. Because for me, that is 2 hours out of my week. I mean, how many hours are in a week? I don't know. 24 times by 7. Calculator, where is it? 24 times by 7. 168. Okay, there's 168 hours in a week. And out of that time, if I'm with you and your kid screams or cries or whatever for 2 hours, that's 2 out of 168 for me. That's okay. That's fine. It always breaks my little heart when my friends get so concerned and so flustered when their kid, acts up or, they're just a child. They're just a baby. When we're together and, they're apologizing profusely. I'm sorry, she's just so whatever. They're teething. Girl, it's fine. It's a child. I am a grown adult woman with a fully formed frontal lobe. I can regulate my own emotions around, if there's any sort of emotions that I have about your child screaming or whatever. That's not your child's fault. And also, I have the capacity to do that. My cup is not empty, when it comes to the tolerance of a child screaming. I'm not dealing with it for 160 hours out of 168 per week. I'm dealing with it for 2 hours. And again, it's far more distressing to you than it is to me. So this is just a call out to the amazing, incredible mothers out there. I'm friends with so many of you. You're doing an incredible job. You are keeping a human alive. That should be rewarded each and every day. Do not forget how difficult that is and how amazing you are for doing that, okay? And if we are not evenly distributing that responsibility between you and your partner, girl, reassess. Because it should not be all on you, okay? I gotta throw that in there. If you are dealing with the screaming 160 hours out of the week, and, your partner, who is supposed to be in this, teammate, together, is not dealing with it with you, I think you should have a conversation about that. Because, we should be evenly distributing that. But me, as a friend, here on the side, I can tolerate a couple hours. Or even, a whole day, a weekend, a week, not a problem. Not a problem. Let me watch our kids. I love them. So, all of this to say, sorry if it's a little noisy, but I'd like to think that you guys are all grown adults and can tolerate a little bit of noise on my end, okay? These crickets are my children. They are unruly, and I detest them sometimes, and they keep me up at night. At least the ravens or crows aren't out right now. Those things make so much freaking noise. Oh my, they're the worst. Okay, are we done with me just droning on? Are we done? Are we ready to hear about The Way of Water? Yeah, you are. Okay, Way of Water, Avatar 2. This movie came out in, drumroll please, I think it was 2022? Where's my information? I've lost my information. Oh, there was a bird. Oh, see, I mentioned the crows, and then here they are. Okay, where is it? All tabs. I never delete a tab. It's a problem, so I know it's here, though. Okay. Here we go. Oh, stay low. No! Hold on. It deleted my history. Okay, we got it back. So, Avatar, Way of Water. Director, James Cameron. The release date was December 6, 2022, so it has been 3 years, and they are planning, oh, hold on, there's the bus that we discussed, okay, just picture it as a screaming kid, just having a moment, here they go. Oh, these buses are so loud, you guys. Grr, I hate them. Okay, December 6, 2022, oh, right, where was I? 5 movies, so, they're planning on doing 5 movies in total, so this is the second one, right? And the other 3 have actually already been filmed, because they filmed 2, 3, 4, and 5 all at the same time. So those ones are already done, according to James Cameron and everything that I've read. But, post-production takes years and years and years, because all of this is captured through this incredible technology. Again, go watch. It is worth watching just the 2-part documentary series on, Disney Plus. Go watch that, because James Cameron, the director, talks about how important it was for him to have real actors. And, they have these dots all over their face, and they have these infrared cameras, and they have all this stuff that's picking up every single micro movement of their body and of their face, so that way when they do the overlay of, the CGI avatar body and stuff, it really is that actor's emotion. It is that actor's facial expression that they were actually giving right then and there. And when you see these sets and stuff, it's funny to think that, they were able to do that and have that much of an imagination, because obviously when we watch it on screen, it looks amazing and so cool, but they are acting to each other with these headgear, camera things, dots all over their face, all this stuff. They really have to use their imagination and just act to something that's not real. Like, they're acting to the wall, basically, and everything that they're doing is captured, so it's quite a feat in film in general of what technology can do. So that's really cool. And then the whole underwater thing. Oh, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to the basic facts really quick. So it has a runtime of 192 minutes, which I then had to look up how many hours is 192 minutes. And it is 3 hours and 12 minutes. So these movies be long. They are long. And I know that puts a lot of people off of them. That's why they don't watch them. And I get it. Especially if you can barely stay awake for, a 90-minute movie. Yeah, I can see where we're losing the appeal of the Avatar ones for you. But again, if you are going to watch it with someone that really enjoys it and really loves it and I think it is worth it. It's a cinematic experience. This is a really great movie to watch in theaters. And let's just take a second. I think whoa. We should be able to pay attention to something for 3 hours and 12 minutes without needing our phone. I think that would be a good exercise for all of us, you know? And if you cannot put your phone down for 3 hours and 12 minutes to focus on just a bigger screen, to a story being told, to art, if you can't do that, it's still very entertaining. That is what you're trading in the small screen on your phone for, and like the short length videos for this bigger thing. But if you can't even do 3 hours and 12 minutes without falling asleep or without like having a compulsion to pull out your phone, I think we've got a bigger problem. Like, we should be able to do this, guys. This should not be climbing Mount Everest type of task. All you gotta do is sit there and let your eyes and ears soak it all in. That's all you need to do. Just focus. Just, take your ADHD medication if needed, but just lock in for 3 hours and 12 minutes. It shouldn't be that hard. I can get where the difficulty may come, and I'm not saying that's not real, because it for sure is. But, guys, come on. Like, grow up. Get your attention span back. You can do it. If there is something to be worth it, it would be this. You're gonna get chills all over your body if you actually just give it a chance. Okay, the production budget of Way of Water was $350 to $460 million. It's one of the most expensive films ever made. It made approximately $2.34 billion worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing films of all time. Again, this is the second movie. The top spot is Avatar, which was made in 2009, and since 2009 there is not a single film that has ever beat the Avatar 2009 as far as money making goes. There is no other movie in existence in this world, on this planet, that has ever made more money than this franchise. Just think about that for a second. Okay. Record highlights. It became the 6th film ever to surpass $2 billion globally. And it finished as the highest grossing film of 2022 and is currently 3rd on the all-time global box office list, behind the first one and Avengers Endgame, which we've already discussed. Okay, let's see. Fun film facts. Groundbreaking underwater tech. Cameron and his team pioneered new motion capture and filming techniques for underwater performance capture, a major technical milestone in filmmaking. This is true. They literally invented something new. This did not exist prior to them doing it. And that's what the documentary on Netflix is about, is them trying out all these different methods first of how they were going to capture underwater. And at first they hired a bunch of actors, to get up on wires and kind of act like they were swimming. And it looks unbelievable. It looks so realistic. These people in these contraptions, and they're acting like they're swimming. But even that, James Cameron, he said, no, it looks like people are pretending to swim in the air. We need them to be actually swimming. But once you get in the water, then it becomes much, much, much more difficult. One, for breathing purposes. Your actors can only go down for like a couple minutes at a time. When you're trying to capture something that is 3 hours long, and then you also have the issue of light, because you're trying to film something, but with the reflection of light, you can't capture it on these cameras with the actors' movements, and then you have the movement of the water creates like bubbles, and that causes problems in the clarity. And then there was an issue with like the infrared or something, how they capture the motion captureness, whatever. Clearly I'm very sciencey. However they capture that when they're just acting on land, they had to completely invent something new in order to capture it underwater because all of the technology doesn't work underwater. With all the waves, and it messes up the motion capture. You can't see clearly, so that they're not capturing what they're designed to do. So they had to completely come up with this brand new thing. Then they had to build these tanks that are so massive. It is unbelievable. They engineered these things that sent just millions of gallons of water through per like minute, and can simulate waves and can simulate all this stuff. There's all these hydraulics, and it's just when the actors are swimming in the movie, they're actually swimming, and when they're like lifting someone out of the water, they're actually lifting someone out of the water. It must have been exhausting. When I watched the behind the scenes for this, I was like, wow. Wow, 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 wow. I can't imagine having that as a job. I would not enjoy that at all. The constant physical labor on top of acting and having to make it look beautiful and look, believable, and you have to have your emotions and all of these things. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. It is truly amazing. Okay, let's see. Long production. The movie took over a decade to develop, from announcement to release date to the advanced technology required. It's because they literally had to invent things. New technology had to be invented for this film. With a nearly 3 hours and 12 minutes, it's one of the longer blockbuster films released in recent years. Okay, what a dumb fact. We don't need to... Of course it is. That goes without saying. Sometimes the internet. Oh my goodness. Let's see. These are all dumb fun facts. Holds a moderately positive critical reception. Was 76 on Rotten Tomatoes. Really? Those were dumb fun facts. Okay. You know what? Watch the documentary. Now we're going to get into the plot of Way of Water. All right. So, we left off the last movie, right? They sent the sky people back to their land, who came and invaded. Obviously, we know we have this, premonition of, they're going to come back. We know this, but we're going to be better prepared the next time. We being the Na'vi people, me included, because I am a part of them, obviously. I watched the movie. I became an avatar. I became, I am a part of the clan, the tribe. Whatever they are, I'm a part of it, and I will die for them. They are everything to me. Jake Sully and his family, they bind together, and I'm a family member. I am blue. Okay? In my mind, these movies really, they transform who you are. Okay, so we're preparing for them to return. So now it's been a decade. So from 2009, from the first release, to 2022. Again, how many years is that? I'm really just showing my inability to do mental math right now. 13 years. It took 13 years to produce the second one. But again, that's why we're getting a faster release with these next ones. With the next one coming out in just 2 days. Which 2022 to 2025, that one is 3 years. But it's because they already filmed all the content over the last, 13 years. They filmed all the stuff, and then now it's all the post-production for the next, 10 years or whatever, while they release the rest. So we start off, and we get Jake narrating where we're at. So him and Atiri have created a beautiful family. They have 2 sons, and then they have an adopted daughter named Kiri. Now, in the first film, we're going to go back a little bit, we have Sigourney Weaver, famous actress. She's a scientist, and she really was so caring and was a friend to the Na'vi people. She also really understood, or was trying to understand, their connection to Ewa. from a biological standpoint, she's a biologist, she was really deeply interested in how all of them are connected to the earth, to the trees, how their little tentacles on the end of their braids, like, literally can attach themselves to these sacred sites where they communicate with Awa. They pray to Awa and they hear the souls of those who have passed on. And so she really wanted to deeply understand like how this works from a scientific standpoint, but of course she also had so much heart involved, where she thought it was so beautiful the way that the people connect with Awa, with Mother Nature, with the land and the animals and the trees, all of that. So she was a friend to the people and was this scientist. She ends up, very unfortunately, passing away. So in one of the battles, she is shot, and when Jake goes back to the people and he's like, hey, like, listen, let's get all the clans together, let's like go against them. So he's now on their good side again. He's like, hey, I'm part of your people. He says to them, Grace, who's the scientist, Grace is dying. Will you help? So they bring Grace's body, her human body, and her avatar to the tree, which is what happens at the end of movie 1, where the soul of Jake Sully moves from his human form into his avatar, and now that's him. So they were trying to do that with Grace, but she was very weak because she had been shot and she's dying. So they bring her, the tribe, together, does their, sacred ceremony of compelling the spirit to move from her body to the avatar. And it is unsuccessful, but you have this moment where she opens her eyes and she says, Jake, and Jake grabs her hand and she says, I'm with her. It's real. She's real. And then she dies. Meaning, like, Awa is real. This goddess is real. So that occurs. And it was deeply sad. Grace is dead. We move on with the film. Well, in the start of Way of Water, they kind of brush over this quite quickly, but Grace's avatar form was pregnant, or gets pregnant. Again, timeline here doesn't quite make sense to me, because from the time Grace dies, you would think like, oh, okay, so she's like gotten pregnant somehow from that ceremony, like she's kind of like a Virgin Mary type of thing, where like God put a child inside of her, like a savior, right? But timeline-wise, that doesn't work, because even if it was like 1 year of pregnancy, if somehow the avatar bodies need longer or something, it's not 9 months, it's like a year of gestation, it still doesn't line up timeline-wise, because the start of Way of Water, the children, like, her child is like 13. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, because they have 2 older children, Jake and Natiri. They have 2 older boys before this child from Grace's body is born. So I don't know if they don't really explain it. So my guess is they just like took her avatar body and like put it in like kind of an incubator situation, because they weren't gonna like waste the avatar body, but like maybe they were gonna figure out how to let other people connect to it so that they could transport into the avatar body virtual reality style. I don't know. They do not explain that, and I'm going way too deep into it. It literally doesn't matter, but it kind of does matter. Like, you need to know, because I actually think that this is going to play a huge part in the next 3 movies, because Grace's avatar ends up getting pregnant. No one knows how. It's like this big mystery. It's like, what in the world? How is she pregnant? Well, Jake and Natiri adopt her baby, and this baby's name is Kiri, who is also played by Sigourney Weaver. And when we meet her, she's 13 years old. 12 or 13, around that age. So we arrive to the family. They have 2 older sons. This, savior-like, well, I'm saying that it's savior-like because it's a virgin's baby, as far as we know. How did this body, this avatar body that didn't have a soul in it all of a sudden, is impregnated? You're telling me that wasn't God? Okay, you know what? It was Awa, and I don't care what you say. So, Awa has a baby, and it's Kiri. It's just the Jesus story. Tale as old as time, really, in Christianity. I've heard it my whole life, so of course, I would believe it in a fictional thing as well. Let's see. Then they have one more child. It's a girl who's like probably 9 or 10. Okay, that's the fam. The fam bam. We've got the 3 biological kids. We have the adopted middle child. And we have our parents. Okay. We start off with him catching us up on what's been going on. That, they started to create a family. He, has fully learned the language. And this is his home. This is his life. He has been here for now, probably 17, 18 years. That's around the age of the oldest son. So maybe 20 years, okay? That's where we're at now. In the first movie, it was his first, year, really, there. More like his first 6 months there on Pandora. And now this is 20 years later that he's been a part of this tribe or is it clan? With the people. And he's been in his avatar form and created a family. And we see that the Sky People have, yes, returned, and they are trying to take things, but now you have Jake Sully, and he basically has, trained everyone to be soldiers, and so they do attacks on the Sky People, and they're just kind of at this constant war with the people. Now, the villain in the first movie, he ends up dying at the very, very end. He's such a good villain because you hate him. You hate everything about him. He is evil to his core. And he is this, war general, oorah, just the worst. The absolute worst. He has no feeling or emotion about murdering this entire people for resources. I mean, it's just, yeah, so at the end, when Neytiri shoots her freaking arrow in front of him, and kills him, you're like, justice! Well, unfortunately, no justice. Because in Way of Water, they had uploaded his memories, and they had made him an avatar body in, an incubator, in case he died, and then now they've uploaded his memories and just who he is as a person into his avatar. So the human is dead, but everything that made him a terrible person is alive and well in this avatar body. So you don't, Jake Sully, and they don't know that yet. They don't know that he's been resurrected into this avatar body because it's taken all this time, and now he is flying to Pandora to avenge his old self, or I guess, the part of him that died. And he is sent on this mission to get Jake Sully, to kill Jake. So we start off with, we're seeing how they're fighting back against the Sky People and stuff, but then now this resurrected evil guy in the avatar form, he is coming after Jake, and Jake and his family realize that he's not going to stop, and they're putting the entire people at risk if they stay. They will literally burn the place to the ground. They know that they will. They have seen it before. This guy is so evil. So to protect the people and to protect the family, they have to leave. They decide they need to go and basically be refugees because they cannot stay any longer. they have to protect themselves at this point. So Jake gives up the title. He's like the chief, and he gives that up, and they fly all the way as far as they can to the sea people. And that's where we get like the way of water, because this is a completely different place. It's like going from, exactly where I am, from America to all the way to, like the Polynesian Islands. That's where they go. So it's people, although, they're all Na'vi, these people are a completely different tribe. They look differently. They've evolved differently. So their tails are a different structure because they swim in the water. And so, whereas the Na'vi, Jake and his family, their tails are very skinny because they need to be flexible because they're kind of like jumping around, parkouring in the trees and, flying around. These people are in the water, so they're, their body size is, they got the swimmer's body, whereas Jake's family has like the tall, lean, like runner's body. So totally different body sizes, shapes, structure, their look is different. This is a different people. So they come and they ask, like, can we be refugees? Can we come and live amongst your people and learn your ways and contribute and all of that? So that's the first hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours of the film, is them learning now this new way of life, this way of water, the way that the water people work, and these cool creatures that are underneath the water that, again, their little tentacle on the braids things can connect to. They're learning how to ride them because they've only ever ridden things on land or in the sky. They've never ridden things underwater. They're learning their language because although they speak the same language verbally, underwater they use, sign language to communicate because they obviously can't speak underwater. So they're learning that. And then you see the riffs of the kids, being bullied and then also pushing back, and just the struggle of trying to fit into a new place when you are these outsiders and you're like babies, you're like children, you have to start from scratch, and the frustration that you feel in that. It's just a great story. It's very relatable to a lot of people, and it mirrors, of course, real life in a lot of ways, as most good film does. So you not only have this great story going on, but visually, it is stunning. It is amazing. All of these creatures and the water and the swimming and it's just so cool. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, I can't even express to you how great it is. Okay, now I'm going to give some spoilers. Okay, I feel like I didn't need to warn you about spoilers on the first Avatar because it's so old. Like, come on. It's the highest grossing film in the world, 2009. This one, though, if you're like, wow, Nikki's convinced me, I'm gonna go watch this, and you don't want to know how the second one ends or, like, the core of the conflict and stuff, then, pause now and go spend some time watching the Avatar movies. But if you are like me and you actually enjoy listening to a spoiler and that's what convinces you to actually watch something, then listen on. All right. So the bad, evil, reincarnated, resurrected man that we hate, I'm trying to see if there's any additional detail, because there is one other character that actually I think I need to mention, because he's going to be in the third film, and I think he's going to play an important role. The big evil guy, at some point, he impregnated a woman, his human body, his human self, impregnated some woman, but when they were all sent back to Earth, the baby couldn't go because of something with cryo or something. They can't be in like a cryo state. So this baby was basically born, orphaned, was not adopted by Neytiri and Jake like Kiri was. Because again, he's human and they're all the Avatar people. But he's basically like a kind of adopted child. He's like a neighbor that's like always around, he's basically one of the kids, but Neytiri especially is like, no, that's not my child. She does not claim him as her child in any way. But to all the kids and stuff, they treat him like a sibling, and he's around like 15, 16 years old in the film. So his name, they call him Spider, and he's kind of like a Tarzan character, okay? He's just been like raised amongst these people as this orphan child, and acts like them, talks like them, but he is human. So that he's going to play an important role in the third one, according to the trailer. But his father, his biological father, is that evil guy that was killed. Now, in Way of Water, we have the resurrected, reincarnated Avatar version of the evil dude. And the reincarnate dude, he kidnaps Spider, and he gets all this intel from Spider. Spider really tried to, like, protect the family and stuff, and he did. He actually did an incredible job. But they kind of developed sort of this relationship, kind of. But it's complicated. He obviously hates him. He literally kidnapped him. And he's a terrible person. He knows what he did and, like, what a horrible person he was. But also there is that part of him, even though it's not his real dad, it's just a reincarnate version in an Avatar form, he's an orphan child who wants a dad. So we can't blame him fully. Well, he leads them eventually to the water people. Or, they find where Jake is hiding out. And they go to the water people. Again, Jake tells them, guys, you cannot fight against them. You do not understand what you're up against. We have been fighting them for years. For 20 years. Like, you do not stand a chance against them. And the people are very, well-intentioned but naive. Yes, we can get them. We'll do it. And he's like, no, guys, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But the reincarnate guy ends up kidnapping Jake's children. So now they're forced into the fight. And that is the whole, like, last hour of the film is their battle of Jake and Neytiri trying to get their kids back. And there is a very, very emotional and tragic scene where the oldest son is killed. Oh my gosh. It is so palpable, the emotion in that scene where he is killed. And they are there, and, like, Neytiri jumps off her, her, what is it called? The thing that they fly on. She jumps off and she's, like, screaming, just, like, the grief of her child being dead. And then Jake looks at her and, he's like, I need you to be strong. I need you to be strong right now. Like, he has our other children. We have to go and save them. And you guys, that scene deserves every award ever given in film. It gets me every time. It gets me pumped up, but also chills. It makes me want to sob my eyes out. The way that she goes from just distraught, screaming, grief, to him telling her and, kind of grabbing her and just saying, like, not now. Like, we cannot break down right now. You have to focus, is what he's saying in, his words. When he's like, I need you to be strong right now. And her face, the way that it changes from grief to just killer eyes. Like, she is going to kill this man. And every version of him that is ever reincarnated, she's done it before, and she is about to do it again. And it's just such a powerful moment. So she then grabs her bow. She's such a good, she's like Katniss but on steroids. So she grabs her bow, strides over to her flying thing that she rides on. The seamless way that she hops on that thing. You have to watch this scene. Even if you don't watch the movie, just watch this scene. Now, a lot of clips on YouTube, they will cut out right after, like, he dies, the son dies. No. You need to watch the version where she gets on the flying thing and then is in battle with the reincarnate guy. Like, you have to see that scene through because it is so powerful. She is this grieving mother and she is going to save her 2 daughters. Oh, Kiri and the youngest one. That's who's currently kidnapped still. So she is going to get her other children. And she is putting her grief, she is channeling it into just composed rage. She will kill this man for what he has done to her child. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so powerful. Oh, you have to watch it. I'm so excited for the 3rd one. I'm like getting emotional just thinking about it. There are such cool things that happen in these films. The story, the build-up, and they really take their time with it. You live in this world. That's why it needs to be 3 hours. Yes, it's long. You only gotta watch it once every couple years, okay? It's just 3 hours of your life. Out of how many hours are in a year? We already determined 168 are in a week. So times that by however many weeks, 52 weeks in a year. This is a lot of hours. All you need is to lock in for 3 hours and 12 minutes in like a 3-year period, and it'll change your life. Okay, it will. So she goes, and she does. There's a moment where he is holding her daughter at knife point, the reincarnate. That's what we're calling him. And he's holding her daughter at knife point, and she grabs Spider. And she holds Spider at knife point. Knowing, like, she knows that he has an attachment to this human child. And of course he says, like, he means nothing to me. He's not even my child. Like, what? And she goes, and she means it. Like, she will kill Spider, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that she would do it, because she's never treated him as one of their own. She goes to kill Spider, and he drops his weapon against her child. And at the end, he's about to die, and Spider, he decides to save him, which causes him a lot of conflict, obviously, but he couldn't just let him die. I think there was a lot going on in his conscience. He spared him, he saved his life, and so, to watch him die, even as evil as he is, there's a part of Spider that cares for him, and that also feels like he owes him, and so, it was so annoying. He could have died, but Spider saved his life, and so, in the 3rd movie, he will be the villain again. He's gonna team up with whoever is the fire lady, and the end of the film, how does it end? I just watched it like 2 weeks ago. It ends with them being just with the people. Like, they take down, and once again, the animals too, they're involved. There's like this big, huge, to say a whale, like a whale shark, it does not do it justice. I mean, it's like 10,000 times bigger than that. Anyways, that comes and contributes to the fight as well. The nature, the animals, it's so dope. It's so dope. But in the end, things calm down. It ends in a similar place as the first film, where they are there with the people. They're fighting back. They're going to fight back, but there's a calm. They got their family back. They bury their son, and they are a part of this water people now. And now we have the 3rd one, which I'm gonna see in just, I think, like 2 days. And to say I'm excited is an understatement. It's like saying that Avatar's an okay film. Okay, it's just not even a little bit true. It doesn't not give it justice to what that means. I really hope that this convinced you to go and watch Avatar. Or if it didn't, you at least feel like you did watch it. I will report back on the third one on how it is. I don't even feel like I can rate these movies because they are just in a class of their own. I mean, on paper, 10 out of 10. At both of them, 1 and 2. Do I think that everyone's going to feel that way? No, of course not. So maybe like 8 out of 10 on both of them, I think I would give. But my personal ranking, 10 out of 10. Both the original and Way of Water. If anything, the Way of Water was an 11 out of 10. Way of Water was so good for me. But there is actually a fun little story that I'm going to end with. When I was in the theater watching Way of Water for the first time, I went with my entire family. And unfortunately, when you are the only single person in a family full of couples, it does create circumstances like the one I was in, where there wasn't enough seats for the odd one out. So my entire family sat together on a row to themselves. And this is a full theater, so they all sat together, and then I sat alone, like 10 rows behind them. So, by myself, which is completely fine. That's not an issue. I can watch. You don't even talk during the movies, you know? I travel and live in other countries by myself, okay? I'm okay with being by myself. But it was quite funny when they literally, all of them, file in to sit together, and then I go up all the flights of stairs until I'm on the top row, and I settle into my own space between probably a different family that's all couples as well. Well, I'm watching the film, and it's one of the bigger parts of... I don't even think it was a battle. Anyways, it was a pretty big part of the movie. We were moving along in the story. We were done with establishing where they are, who the people, all of that. Like, we're getting into the more war of it. All of a sudden, there is this woman in the theater who starts screaming. And at first, you think it's, oh, she's like really excited about what's occurring on the screen. But it turned pretty serious pretty quickly, where all of a sudden, now a bunch of people are making noise and like, call 911! So there's clearly something happening, but it's difficult because we have IMAX theater and surround sound. So this woman, she's panicking and yelling and screaming, and then all of a sudden there's just this kerfuffle. So everyone in the theater now is like standing up, and everyone's looking at where this woman is, and I see my brother, shout out to Michael, what a freaking saint, who is EMT. I see him run across the row, because this woman was, I'm on the top row in the middle, okay? This woman is down, like, near the bottom of this huge theater, like an IMAX theater. She's down and on the left, and my brother was down and on the right, like one row in front of this woman. So I see, she's like yelling, she's like, someone call 911, is there someone, help, help, help. I see my brother run across this theater, and, there's people yelling, and, there's this thing that stuff is happening, clearly. Something's going on. Someone's having a heart attack. Somebody's dying. Something's going on. And what ends up going on is they take out whoever was having the problem. It was hard to see because, again, everyone's standing. We're all watching, but yet everyone's trying to give them space. My brother's right in on the action, so I was like, we're going to get the full detailed story. So they spend a few minutes there. Nobody's watching the film, obviously, like someone's dying. And they take out whoever it was that was having the issue. And my brother doesn't return for like 45 minutes. And then he comes back. I see him come back and take his seat. And then afterwards, I got the full detailed report. So apparently what happened was this man choked on popcorn. And when he choked on the popcorn, it had caused him to seize. And that was when his wife started panicking. So they were able to clear his airways. But because of the seizure, then, that was scary. So they took him out, and then my brother was with him and gave all the details, because then the EMS people, the actual on-duty EMS hospital ambulance, whatever, came, and my brother relayed all the information. So my brother was, doing all the stuff that they do in prep for them getting there, and he ended up just staying and helping the guy and the family and talking to the EMS people and making sure that everything was good, and then he came back in the theater. But my brother's a hero, is what I'm trying to say. He is definitely the type of person you would want in an emergency. 100%. He really was born for the medical profession and medical field. Yeah, he absolutely, that's a career for him. He does not overreact ever. Both him and his wife. I freaking love my sister-in-laws. They're so awesome. But this sister-in-law in particular, I don't know if I feel like she'd be so chill with me saying her name on the pod. Yeah, because she lets me tag her on Instagram. Hey, Jenny Lynn. What's up, girl? I know she probably doesn't listen to this, but she will now, because I'm going to tell her that I talked about her. And obviously I'm going to clear it with her. So if you're hearing this right now, it was cleared. It was cleared by Jenny Lynn. We're going to end with me talking about my sister-in-law and my brother really quick. You know how, remember at the beginning when I said I was going to go through all this list and adolescence and all that stuff? Yeah, look where we ended up. I can't, that's all just a tease for another day, because we're instead going to land here, and we're going to travel there another time, because this is the episode. It was what it needed to be, this clearly needed to be a deep dive into Avatar today. I didn't know that coming in, but that revealed itself to you and I all at once. We can thank Awa, my bad, Awa, or whatever deity that you worship, because I just follow the spirit. I just follow the guide that I have. I call it the spirit, and maybe others call it Awa, maybe others call it something else. And it led us to where we are now, which is ending with talking about my sister-in-law. So here's the thing about my siblings. So I have 3 brothers. We know this. I have 1 older, 2 younger, all very close in age. You have met my older brother on multiple occasions. Still to this day, so many people's favorite episode is my brother from the same mother, which is just so hilarious that episode, so many of you loved me and my sibling together, but we are great together. But I've done 4 episodes now with my older brother, Robbie. But I have 2 younger brothers, and I have one that's right underneath me. His name is Michael, and we're 15 months apart. Michael was always the angel child growing up, which is really annoying. Because then it made us all look bad as siblings when he's so great. He has severe dyslexia, so, poor kid couldn't read, which means, everything that he does is, so much more significant when he's in med school and all this stuff. It's wow, he was told he would never read above a 4th grade level, and look at him now. He's incredible. Hold on, someone just knocked on my door. Well, and just like that, we're going to pause where I was and what I was talking about, because I have a guest. He's from England. He's British. He's British. And, we're going to chat about Avatar. We're going to get Josh's thoughts on Avatar. He is an engineer. Have you watched the documentary yet that I told you to watch?
No.
Actually, get out. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me readjust the mic. Let's get it suitable for 2 people. Everybody, we'll talk about my brother and my sister-in-law another time. Again, we're just gonna add that to next week's episode, which I'll probably record tomorrow, okay? Everybody relax. All right. Josh.
Hello people. Hello the world.
Introduce yourself. Say something very British.
I don't even know. I'm just gonna speak and everyone can pick up on everything by themselves. Yes, I'm from the UK. I live in like South London. I've lived there basically all of my life, in different parts of London, and yeah, I'm in Australia for a little bit. I'm studying with Nikki, and yeah, Australia's interesting, and yeah, have a good time.
Rating out of 10, Australia. Don't overthink.
My instinct is like 7.
Oh, that's high.
Yeah, it's got a lot going for it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot going for it. Weather, beaches, space, all nice things.
Space is in like...
Room,
Oh.
yeah.
I instantly think planets.
No,
I was like,
no,
really?
no,
Is there
no.
like something about the space
Just
here?
like car park spaces are bigger. There's room. People aren't on top of each other. That's nice.
That's true. What's the best part about being friends with me?
Ooh.
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
You're like, actually... if you were to describe me to someone else...
I would just be just reliable, just
Oh.
just reliability, and that means like obviously like I could like rely on you for things, but then also just like I know how you're gonna react to things. That's very very cool.
I've never heard someone describe me like that. That's actually great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay. You're very genuine. You're a very genuine person. Like, clock that from literally the second I met you. You got off a, 14-hour flight or whatever it was?
17.
Yep, that. But you made it look like it was only 14. Yeah,
Okay, great.
You clocked in, I checked you in, and then I was like, this seems like a great guy. Like, this seems like a genuinely great person.
Mm-hmm.
And then, never wrong.
Yeah, 4 months later.
4 months later, here we are, Okay, but here's the most important thing is I need your thoughts on Avatar. As a franchise, first one to the second one comparing, what are your takes on Avatar? Because I have now explained the entire plot to each movie.
Okay.
I have spoiled every single
Alright, we've
thing. Done
all context, everything, yeah.
All of the context is there, so we need to hear it from the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, as the Bible tells us. Or at least, those who believe in the Bible. We need more of a witness to what I have just spoken on. So you don't know what I've said. You obviously understand my passion. But what are your thoughts on the Avatar franchise?
Well, big fan here. Obsessed with the first movie, watched that many times. Really thought that was going to be it. And it'd been so long, you just kind of live with that. Like, that was going to be a one and done, and that was a great movie. And then, yeah, then for years and years they were talking about sequels. And then I just thought it was never going to... I think most people thought that was never going to happen.
Yeah.
And then second one came out. Remember seeing it in the cinema. It was great. Visually stunning, obviously. Very moving. I think the storyline got a lot of hate.
Of the second one?
Yeah, the second one.
Say why. Because I explained the storyline, but I explained it very positively.
I think a lot of people thought it was too long. And a bit samey, like repeat-wise from the first movie, which I can see, but I didn't think there was anything. I didn't really have any complaints watching it. I'm normally very difficult to disappoint when it comes to movies in general, so I may be not the best when it comes to like criticism or feedback. But I remember watching it in the cinema. I had a great time. The whole whale subplot, space whales, I thought that was all really, really fascinating and moving, and added like more depth to the exploitation of the planet.
Okay, actually, I didn't talk about that.
Okay.
Can you expound on that?
So like part of the reason that the human in the second movie, part of the reasons that the, what do they call them? Space people? What are they called?
From the sky?
Sky
Like,
people.
the
Sky
people.
people. Yeah. Sky people, aka humans.
Yeah.
Come
The
back.
American humans.
Yeah, come back to Pandora is they. I think they.
Oh, wait. Was I calling it something else?
Is it Pandora?
It is
I think
Pandora.
it's Pandora.
Just for anybody, I might have called it something else. It's definitely Pandora.
Okay, what were you calling it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think that. No, I was calling it something different.
Okay.
That's the land on which they live. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. It's Pandora.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think in the first movie when they came to Pandora, they obviously like found all this stuff out, and then they must have found out that there's these space whales. Well, they're whales, but just in the sea in Pandora, and they're like really really intelligent, huge, like more intelligent than the blue people, the Na'vi, and the humans as well.
Yeah.
Very complex creatures. But then the humans find out that they have like a serum inside their brains which stops aging, stops human aging. So there's this whole other subplot in the movie where the humans are going out and trying to farm this stuff. And like there's some amazing, like some really, really emotional scenes of them going to hunt these whales and separate them from their calves, and James Cameron's talked about this as being a reflection of like our treatment of like, well, definitely the whaling industry in the UK, not in the UK, in the world, and just seeing it like that was watching that was just so moving.
And then, it's heartbreaking to see them attack and to go after such an intelligent creature for something so, like, small, because again they waste the entire animal.
Oh yeah for some
one,
vials of this stuff, yeah.
That is for human aging, but
yeah,
at what cost?
Exactly,
What's the cost of this life of this creature?
And the way they depict like the intelligence and the complexity of the creatures, and they also like the Na'vi water people. They go and they're like friends and family members of like this animal. Like they can communicate and connect with each other, and so yeah, you're hearing about all of this from their perspective, from the whale's perspective. They're like not just like passive; it's happening to them. They're like talking about it, and that's all really really cool. So anyway, yeah, second movie, great. Lots of more like texture and detail about Pandora, and then we like learn about Jake's family and their like family unit, and generally learn to despise humans more and more, which I think is going to be a theme into the next one and the rest.
Yeah, you can't root for the humans at all because they're just everything terrible about who we are as humans.
Yeah.
The worst that we're capable of is their character in this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It is greed and power and cruelty. That is who the human race represents as the villain in this movie.
Yeah.
And then the Na'vi people is kind of like the traits that we as humans, the beauty and the connection and all of this. So, but yeah, you cannot. But that's represented as people who are not human, and so.
Yeah, and the whole world is from their perspective of seeing outsiders, come and use their resources, and they do the classic thing of trying to be friends with them, and then eventually give up with that and choose, violence and subjugation, all that. So, yeah, it's a story is kind of as old as time, and people can recognize it in whatever culture or time or perspective you have. And that's why I think the movies are so, just so compelling, and you like have that with amazing, just visuals, and music as well.
Oh yeah, talk about the music.
Yeah, music is. I think both of the movies, or at least the second one, has music playing almost constantly, and so the music is very much an important part of the storytelling. And so like, I actually have on my playlist like a few tracks from the second movie that I listen to, like like a theme that they have when they having the whales or things like that, and it's just like this kind of very earthly, tribal, very relaxing kind of vibe. So yeah, the music's great, and then I think I read the third movie has got something like the whole runtime of the movie there is music that's been like written by composers and scored and everything to fit the whole movie, which is very, very rare because Hollywood normally only has like, I think most Hollywood movies have like less than an hour of music. So to have like over 3 hours is another feat of these movies. Yeah,
it just breaks every record ever. Like, they're just so cool.
Yeah.
It is a cinematic experience watching this, and if you get the chance to watch it in the theater, do. Seeing this on the big screen is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It is worth watching, locking in for that long amount of time, but it is worth it. And okay, to your point about the people that didn't like the second one, yes, it is very similar. You know, you have like the first like hour and a half of new people in a new place, learning
we hadn't seen an Avatar for what, like, it came out in 2020.
No, it was 2009 and then 2022. Yeah.
2022 was it? Okay. So 13 years. So
right.
We don't mind. That was a while.
And to me, I didn't mind that they took that much time because then I get to be a part of that world. You know, I'm learning about how this people connect with nature. They're different animals that they have in this part of their world, and I like how much time James Cameron takes to set up a story, to live in this world before you get to the problem. And I know that that's not everyone's thing because, you know, so many people have short attention spans. I really do think that that's why, is because so many people didn't like it. It's because you just can't pay attention anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. And all of that is adding just like depth and extra layers to the movie, and you connect with the characters and the world more and more. So yeah.
And if any of you have ever read anything, like a book, if you just really wanted to skip to like, you know, this small thing, then there wouldn't be these books with incredible detail and description and world building. He is building a world here. This is not just a regular movie that you need to establish some sort of context for us to understand the connection of the people with this nature and why it's going to be significant when this is threatened. You know, we need to have some sort of like skin in the game as an audience of the main problem feeling like it's our problem, and then, you know, the emotional state of like they're at risk.
Yeah.
You know, people are coming for them.
Like feeling all the fear and the jeopardy and everything. And also, if you were gonna watch any movie, obviously it's cinema, but this is the movie to also watch it like IMAX 3D, and because the movie has been shot with IMAX cameras, like they have literally invented new cinematography techniques and cameras and probably like new like optical science and stuff like that to be able to shoot these movies. They definitely did with all the underwater filming. So like to fully appreciate it is to.
Are you going to watch it in 3D? We're going together.
We are.
But we're not watching in 3D.
No, we're not.
I hate 3D. But will you?
I would. It depend if it's good, which I will probably enjoy.
It will be, yeah.
Then I think there's a good chance I'll go back and watch IMAX. Yeah.
Did you watch the second one in 3D?
Yeah, watch IMAX
How was
as well.
that?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it just added to the sense of being in the world, like the attention to detail and with the way they shoot it and all the effects is obscene. So it feels like you're there in the movie. And with IMAX as well, it's the amazing sound, and because it is like a movie for like experiencing. So yeah, that's why
I think if there was any movie that someone could convince me to watch in 3D, it would only be these
oh
ones.
oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I could watch it first time around though, because just 3D gives me a headache.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think,
Especially with all there's always fighting and, like they always have these moments where they're just like maybe going through nature quietly, enjoying something, or there's some beauty about the world, or someone's realizing something, and that's all cool to experience in 3D as well.
How did the second one end? I kind of forgot. Like, it was Spider saves the reincarnated guy.
Yeah.
And then his
dad-ish, yeah.
like ish. The memory of his father.
Yeah.
And all the worst parts of him. And then what? So they destroy the ship. He's been rescued. Where is Spider? Like, is Spider with the people? How does it?
No, I think Spider leaves with his quote dad.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember that.
Because also him and Jake, I think, fell out towards the end, or something happened.
Well, Neytiri was gonna kill Spider.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't Jake. It was Neytiri.
Yeah. But they then bury the older son, and then they're just like with the people, right? And it's just.
They stay with the water people, don't they?
Yeah. They stay with the water people.
Yeah.
And to me, it kind of had a similar feeling, if I remember correctly, as the first one, where it's like, you have this feeling, okay, this is not the end. You know, they're going to come back now that they know where we are, but we're also going to be more prepared now to fight back.
Yeah.
But for now, there's like some peace, and this is our people. We are with them. They are with us. Yeah. Like, we're a part of this now. I think that's how it ends, right?
Yeah, I think it ends with them like they're deciding to stay with the water people and learn all their like customs and what it means to be a water people, and like use the flyy creature things under the water and everything. Which that's already cool.
Those are so cool. And again, you guys have to watch the 2-part documentary series on Disney Plus of like how they invented that and came up with the concept of filming it. Okay, last question on this. Kiri. Do you think... I think she's some sort of, like, savior. Because we were just discussing this. We were watching Avatar 1 earlier today. And the pregnancy thing doesn't quite line up, you know. But the last we saw of Grace is... she leaves her body, her soul goes to be with Awa, and she literally says, Awa is real. Like, I'm with her. And then her avatar body is, like, laying there. The soul does not transfer over, but then yet, years later, this avatar form is impregnated.
Yeah.
And then Kiri has these moments in the film where she is connecting with Mother Nature. Like, she's seen as a weird kid. The other kids like bully her and make fun of her and say like she's weird because she can hold her breath for much longer than, you know, her siblings and stuff, even longer than the water people. She's in there and she seems to just connect with the nature in a way that is far different than everyone else. And then there is a scene where she's with Jake and she says, you know, like, everyone thinks I'm weird, and she goes, but I feel her. And then Jake says, who? And she says, Awa. Like, I can hear her heartbeat. So I think Kiri is like a savior-like character.
I think you're right. I think there's enough symbolism, like with the kind of immaculate conception, and Awa is this. It's a god. It's a god. It's like a nature. It's like a Mother Earth like god that connects everything, and they can connect to. So I think she's some form of a like extension of Iwa, or like physical representation of her.
Ooh, yeah, that could be powerful.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna come really into play in this third one.
Oh yeah, for sure now. Yeah, she's gonna do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna
Control
ascend.
nature,
Yeah. Maybe this is like the way that they get rid of the sky people for good. Maybe that's, I don't know where this is going.
Oh, like a build up over the next couple movies and then the final.
Maybe
one?
this is part of like the defense of like of the planet. Yeah, of everything. This is how they get rid of them for good. Because otherwise, what's going to keep happening? The sky people keep coming. They keep fighting. I don't know. I feel like it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for the plot of this third one. It's gonna be so good.
But then we have to wait another 2 years for the next one.
Yeah, don't think about that now.
No, okay.
Think about the excitement over. You thought this new one wasn't gonna come out.
That's true. That's true. I only found out last week that it was coming out on Saturday. Or today? It came out. I think it comes out today. Yeah.
Yeah, here in Australia.
Yeah.
But back. Well, technically it's tomorrow.
Okay. When is this coming out?
This is probably download it like right now.
Oh really?
Probably.
Nice. Okay.
What do you guys think? Should I? No, wait. Actually, I have to call my sis. I talked about Jenny Lynn, my sister-in-law, and my brother in this, so I gotta call them first, make sure that they're okay with me discussing. Because if I talk about anyone on the pod, I always make sure, if I mention anyone by name or like any sort of details that people from back home would like link to, like, oh, I know who she's talking about, I always ask permission before I post the video. So I'll do that. And then I'll post it. So it'll probably be up in the next few hours or by tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, because you know what? Y'all deserve an episode. I'm sorry. I've been slacking. My bad. But I'm doing my best. I gave you 2 hours. You're welcome.
What? I've just seen the timer.
Hey, listen. It was... Basically, if you listen to this, you can absolutely watch the Avatar movies, okay?
Yeah, this has been... Yeah, guys, you're all very well trained up by now. Yeah.
I mean, granted, most people listen to this while they're doing other tasks, so you have that. But put down the sponge, turn off the car. So many people listen to this while they clean their house. I've been told many times.
Nice.
I would love, Scrub Daddy or something to sponsor.
Yeah. You should do like a house cleaning playlist.
I do.
Do you have one?
I have one,
Okay.
yeah. Guys, do you want a house cleaning playlist? Follow me on Spotify. Life, period, according... Well, actually, hold on. My Spotify... Because that's my podcast. But I believe if you look me up... Oh, okay. Life according to Nikki, but there's a period in between each word. Life, period, according, period, to, period, Nikki. Yeah, you guys get it. That has all my playlists. It's not labeled as house... I'll make one. You know what? I'll make it and I'll specifically say house cleaning so it'll be clear to all of you. Mm-hmm. And you're welcome. Merry Christmas. That is my gift to you.
What a great gift.
You're welcome! Any last words that you'd like to say to the people? Any opinions? Any hills you'll die on, Josh?
About Avatar?
Okay. No, we're done with that.
Okay. Any opinions?
Yeah, anything you just want the general public to know? What do you think about engineering?
One of my very strong opinions are poorly designed sinks. I have to think about this often. I think you're like-minded.
Yes.
Sensible person on this as well. Just annoys me greatly all the time. A big sink, and then the tap is like next to the back. What a waste of time, money.
Oh my gosh, I feel
bathroom design.
I feel incredibly heard. I think that's on my list of pet peeves. If you go on my website, Life According to Nikki, I have a whole list of my pet peeves. And I think that might be my top one.
Mm-hmm.
I freaking... Oh, That and when people don't put their arms through coats, like when celebrities like will just like have coats or like on their shoulders,
Yeah.
you know, and then they do like the stupid thing where they like hold it.
Agreed. Very, very dumb. Yeah.
So stupid. Like just put your arms through.
The coat has holes for your arms for a reason.
Yeah, but instead then they spend their whole time having like freaking chicken beak arms because they're holding.
I think it makes you less cool. Like you're standing there for a picture trying to look cool, but you actually look less cool because it doesn't look, you know how to use a coat.
Thank you. Any other opinions? That was the sink went wow.
No, I think that's the hill I'm gonna die on. If you have a huge like basin sink, and your stream of water is within 2 inches of the back, like what are you doing with your sink?
Yeah.
What a waste of bathroom real estate.
Oh, can I actually ask one last question? Because this was on a podcast episode weeks ago with Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak on an English breakfast? And what are we doing there? With the beans and the...
Beans are a hit. I'm not a huge baked beans fan, but Heinz baked beans are a staple in every English person's cupboard. They just are. And a full English would be in my view, bacon, eggs, toast, scrambled eggs, beans, maybe fried tomato.
Yeah.
And then if extra things would maybe be mushrooms, haggis. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you for speaking on that.
As a representative. No problem.
Yeah. I do like to get people from countries so that they can represent everything and speak to really the important things that matter.
Not baked beans.
Yeah, the baked beans. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's it's what matters to me.
Yeah. Also, the English also do sauces and condiments quite well. They have some strange ones. So like Branston, which is like a pickle sauce. You put that on your bread or your toast. Very, very good. Marmite, which is like a very thick, very distinctive taste, like yeast spread. Very, very good in my opinion. Jams, lots of jams. Marmalade, which is like orange jam, all very, very popular. So yeah, we can put stuff on things.
Okay. Yeah. I prefer other types of food, I think. But I mean...
Also scones and cream. Can't beat scones.
See, here's my issue with a scone. Have you ever had something where you ate it and then you got like so ill?
Oh no! How did you get ill from a scone?
I was second grade.
How?
No. So like, I think what happened was the stomach flu was already in the system, and then the last thing I ate before the stomach flu took me was scones.
No.
We had scones that night. You know, honey, butter on them, jam, Nutella. I just went ham on the scones, and then it was horrible. You know, it's just one of those like very traumatic. The first time ever that like it's coming out both ends, and you're just like
it sticks out.
You don't feel like a human.
No,
you didn't know that your body was like capable that you're like crying for your mother on the bathroom floor, trembling, clammy.
Yeah. Just like, take me now. Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I was 9. Isn't that second grade? Yeah, like 9 years old. And then I missed, because it was the last week of school, and I just was so terribly ill. And I missed all of the cool, fun end of year activities like the dance festival and.
But you don't blame the scone for any of
this.
But
that's the problem. Is my association now has always been ever since that occurred.
Oh, okay,
anytime I smell the oil and like the dough of a scone.
No.
I can eat them now, but I need to my food aversion is strong when it comes to a scone.
If you visit the UK and go to like a little cafe bakery, just like.
Oh, but wait! You guys call scones something different.
So a scone is a cylindrical little crusty
Okay, yeah, no, we're talking about something different.
thing, and then you cut it in half, and you spread it
Put
with
jam
cream jam.
That I can
And
do.
it's light, fluffy. It's almost like a bready.
We call it a biscuit.
Okay,
But
that's
you-
not a biscuit.
Yeah, no, 'cause you call cookies biscuits.
I call it biscuits.
See,
A biscuit is like a chocolate digestive, or
No,
a
that's a
hobnob, or a
cookie.
custard cream,
a hobnob.
or a bourbon, shortbread.
No,
That's a biscuit.
That's a bread.
How is shortbread? No, it's not. It's a biscuit.
That's a cake.
No, a cake is like a sponge cake, chocolate cake.
What do you call banana
Cake
bread?
is in the name.
What do you call banana bread?
I think that'd be a cake. That's not bread.
That's bread.
That's not bread. That's not bread. No.
No.
And then a cookie is a round thing with bits of chocolate in it. It's flat, soft inside, crispy on the outside.
No, see, the things that we're classifying as like cookies, we have a lot more range to the cookie. Anything in your biscuit range is in our cookie range.
But
That's
you've
a-
misclassified what a biscuit is.
But our scones, what I'm talking about, it's fried dough.
Fried.
Yeah. So like a scone in the U.S. is, hold on, scones.
Oh no.
U.S.
What's going on here?
Have you ever heard of a Navajo taco?
No.
Okay, no.
It's not a taco.
No, it's a type of scone. Hold on. Fried scones. See, the problem is I look up scones and it gives me some of this UK stuff.
Yeah, like
Because
there's a scone.
I'm telling you right
Good.
now, if I Googled this where my phone was set to the US, it would have come up with different images. But because I'm currently in a country that is part of the Commonwealth, when I Google scones,
Yeah, because that is a scone.
scones, fried US. This is a scone. That's what we call a scone.
What on earth is that?
Oh, I wish you could have seen Josh's face right then. It was
So I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. This
So that's
looks
what
like a fried bread.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So you have this like dough, you put it in a very, very hot pan, extremely hot, like, you know, where the oil's gonna burn you because it's like popping.
Yeah, okay.
You put it on and then it fries it, and then you flip it, fry it, and then you put, you know, butter and honey or jam or chocolate or whatever. Or you can make it savory and you can put like
Cheese. Have it
yeah,
like a little
exactly.
sandwich, yeah.
Cheese and what is it? Not baked beans, like meat.
Yeah, like a dry meat. Okay.
Sour cream.
Yeah.
And that's so that one we call it Navajo tacos.
Okay.
Where like that's your base, and then
Okay.
the same way that you would make, you know, like a soft shell taco or
Okay.
a hard shell taco, but your scone is your base.
Okay.
But
All right.
people love
Okay.
a scone, but when I smell the dough and like
Well, the good news for
fried-
you is that's not a scone, so you
Right,
like
right.
scones.
So I do like scones.
Yeah, you do like
Your
scones.
scones, sure. Let's see, scones. Let me go back to look at this really quick. I will say though, maybe I don't, because I've actually had a lot of scones here.
This scone.
This.
Have you?
I've had
Okay.
a lot of your scones. You know what we would call a biscuit. Where it's, you know, just like bread. Well, it's a biscuit. If you're American, it's a biscuit. If you are not American,
But it's not fried.
yeah. Yeah, no. Trust me, everyone who's American knows when I say a biscuit,
Okay.
they are picturing your scone.
Okay.
This is literally what we call biscuits.
Okay.
But I've had a lot here where we have like the jam and then you have like the whipped topping on top, like, exactly like this picture shows me. It's just so plain. It has no flavor. Maybe if the scone, and I've had some that has like raisins in it or like berries, like some scones. It's just a little too dry.
Okay. Not yet. So a
too-
good scone
it's not
is
as
yeah.
flavored.
No, a good scone is it's soft. It's not flaky and dry and crummy like that.
Yeah.
It's soft and it's really just like a base for the jam and a good cream.
Right. See, and we eat biscuits more like butter with jam rather than like jam and cream.
Okay.
But I just love a cookie.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go for a cookie.
Yeah, can't go wrong with cookies.
Than a scone.
But another thing the UK has an obsession with is biscuits. When I mean biscuit, I mean our type of biscuit: chocolate digestive, custard cream, bourbons, things like sandwiched in between, like two biscuits, shortbread. People bring biscuits into work all the time. There's lots of sharing. People have biscuits throughout the day. Biscuits are just, and they get dunked in the tea. Very important part, like how you dunking into the tea, what you dunking with. Are you letting it sit? Are you letting it like kind of assimilate into the tea? Are you just eating? Yeah, lot of technique going on there as well. So
a lot of culture.
Yes, yeah. Biscuits very, very important part of the culture.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on the pod, Josh.
Just came to get my laundry.
I think this is the same way that Manu came.
Oh, really?
Well. Yeah. When Manu was on the pod, she just like knocked on my door and I was like, "Want to be on?"
Yeah.
And then, hey, this is how I get my guests.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Can you give us your best American accent as a goodbye?
Thanks for listening to Our Thoughts on Life.
Was that American?
No, that was. Thanks for listening on Our Thoughts on Life, because this has been life according to Nikki.
Thank you so much. That was actually amazing.
Really?
I especially loved the big pauses in between each word.
Very big pauses. Might have to speed that up.
That's okay. I'll listen to it on 5 point speed.
Okay, right.
As you should.
Yeah.
Do not be listening to this on 1 point speed, people. I'll just end it with my British accent.
Oh, yes, please.
You know, so that way you're not alone in this. Okay. Thanks for listening to Our Thoughts on Life, because this has been No, I'm going Irish. Life according to Nikki.
It's not bad.
Not bad.